Creativity abounds in Live It Up, and today we have Amanda Ramirez, and her film is called My First Miracle. Welcome to the show. How are you?
Fine, thanks. Thanks for having me here.
You're an independent producer.
Yes.
And you're telling this story because it's a heartfelt story. What are you doing?
Director, writer Rudy Luna wrote this story about a young girl who's about 17 years old, and she has a condition called Myelodysplastic Syndromes. And that's a condition that, if it's not treated properly, can turn into various forms of leukemia. The most famous person right now that had the condition that was treated for it was Robin Roberts. Originally, she was diagnosed with breast cancer. She survived that. She was treated for that. But there was an adverse reaction to the treatment, and that was MDS, and that's when she had the bone marrow donation from her sister. And the movie centers around the fact that she's in need of a bone marrow donor, but she's an only child, and she's, like I said, of mixed race. She's half Irish, half Latin. And it's also a love story and a family story and a multi-generational and multicultural story, which is great because you don't see a lot of those around here.
Why did you decide to work with this story?
Originally, I stumbled upon it. I was sick about 2 years ago, and I was being tested for about 4 different types of cancer. It was thyroid, liver, ovarian, and MDS, and it just struck a chord in me, and I started Googling it, and websites, medical websites, the devil, but, you know, I stumbled upon a press release about it, reached out to production, and they were right there in the middle of crowdfunding, tried to help them out with the crowdfunding, and then as the story grew and as production grew, I was fortunate enough that I wound up being one of the producers, one of the producers on the show.
How is mixed race related to its treatability for this particular disease?
Well, the problem is that it's like anything else, to find that match, and it's difficult enough as it is, I don't want to say in a normal sense, but if someone is solely Caucasian that they know of, Asian or African, but when you deal with that element of mixing of the races, and there is one parent that is of one particular cultural race biologically and another of something that's the complete opposite, it's very, very difficult. I mean, it would be difficult in my family as well because I am of mixed race. I'm of Latin extraction, but I'm of mixed race. I am Caucasian, African, and South Asian. So it's kind of difficult. I can't even explain. And it's also difficult in regards to people not realizing that bone marrow donation is a simple blood test. You go, donate blood, and you sign off to see whether it's Be a Match or any other organization that deals with bone marrow donation, and that's it. And it's a good cause because a lot of people sign off in the back of their organ donation, but this is a live donation, so you know that you're helping out.
Absolutely. My friend Brad Pine was able to use a match.
Yes.
So, and what we did is we went and we had our cheeks swabbed, right? And he ended up being a bone marrow
And that's all it is.
And it was fantastic.
It's all a swab or blood donation, and then that's it. That's all it is. And
you can save a life.
And you can save a life, and it's because of technology the way it is, it's less invasive than it used to be 10, 15, 20 years ago when the risk was to the donor for infection. Now, because of technology and because that advancement, it's much more simpler in terms of recovery time for both the donor and the receiver of the bone marrow donation.
And you have a couple of stars involved with your project. Who did you land?
Yeah, we were lucky enough to land Quentin Aaron from The Blind Side. He played Michael Orr. Valerie Cruz, she was on The Following opposite Kevin Bacon, Matt Roush. For people that have premium channel, he was on Banshee. And Sean Patrick Flannery. My generation would know him as Powder. Newer generation would know him from Boondock Saints, opposite Norman Reedus from Walking Dead, and Jason London. And we have 3 new up-and-coming stars, Juan Castaño and Katia Martin, and the little boy that plays Tommy, Elijah, who's absolutely amazing. And what's cool about it is that he's of mixed race as well, so it all came around and it all encompassed, and it wound up being like a family-oriented production.
People just stepping up and helping people.
That was it.
It's a beautiful thing. Now, but you need some finishing funds, right? You've gotten your film about as far as you're able to get it, and what help do you need? Because that's why I wanted to have you on. What can we do?
Well, right now we're in post-production, so for anyone who doesn't know, post-production is everything shot. We need the editing. We need extra money to edit, so whether it's color correction to make the lighting look better, things of that nature. So right now, fortunately, my alma mater, LIU Post, offered their theater to host the night where we are raising money for the film, and also MDS Foundation and Project Race, which is an advocacy group for mixed race families, mixed race people, whether it's medical, political, school-oriented as far as scholarships. So that night, hopefully will be a success.
It's interesting that you say that, because especially here in New York, but all over the world, after, like you said, mixed cultures, you do not biologically identify with any certain thing anymore. Like for me, when somebody says, what are you? I have to say American, because my heritage is, I'm Cherokee, and I joke about it. I'm like, oh, I have these high cheekbones because I'm part Cherokee, I'm French, I'm Welsh, I'm German, I'm Swiss, I'm Italian. I mean, and the list goes on and on. By the time I got married, right, and it continues on and on.
Absolutely.
I want to do the thing 23andMe. I want to actually find out, because I'm really into my family tree and stuff like that. But I think it's smart that instead of people just having all these race wars and all the ridiculousness, is that people just need to step up and be people, and they need to help each other.
And this is the perfect way to do it, considering that this is a treatable condition once there is a match. It doesn't have to go, hopefully not further than what it was. My father, he had colorectal cancer, and same thing happened to him, similar to Robin Roberts. Not as invasive, but he had aplastic anemia, which is a derivative of MDS. His treatment was through blood transfusions. Luckily for my father, his blood type was AB, so he could accept both. But it's even more difficult when someone's O negative, let's say, where it's very, very difficult to find that match. That being said, this was 20 years ago. So, like I said, with the advancement of the way medical technology is, it's not as invasive, it's not as scary. And I think people are just a little put off by wanting to donate, whether it's a swab, and it's not that at all. It's just, it's something that you can do while you're alive, not knocking organ donation, but it's something you can do alive, and you can know that you're actually helping while you're here.
And so you need some finishing funds for your film, because you want to bring about awareness to this particular condition and to get people help.
Yes.
Okay, and how much money do you need to raise?
Right now, we're around the $30,000 range, give or take, and that was basically to offset. We absorbed the cost, so we had to defer the cost. And anyone that's done film, you do TV, you wind up losing money while you're shooting, because so many things are involved, and cameras break, you have to replace the camera that you broke, you have to rent a new camera to keep shooting, things of that nature. Licensing, right, you want a particular song, or you want to have the Live It Up logo, you have to get the license for that, so that all costs money. But the one thing I will say that Rudy Luna did, the director, is that he wanted money to go to these two charities. And everybody was on board with it, even signing up for it. I mean, it was literally like, let's put on a show type atmosphere, that commuting to set, whether someone who's normally not a PA winds up being a PA for the set, and
people are chipping in, making a difference.
People are chipping in, making a difference. Absolutely.
Amanda, thank you for joining us.
Thanks
I wish
for
you
having
all
me.
the best of luck. I'm wholeheartedly 100% sure that you're going to get these finishing funds. I just know that you will, and I hope that we brought about awareness to both thing that you're trying to help, the foundation that you're trying to work for, and also your film. So thanks for joining us.
Thanks again.
Stay tuned for more on Live It Up. If you have a cause that you're passionate about, please write to me at liveituptvshow@gmail.com or info@liveituptvshow.com. Thank you for watching.